Hi there, this is Chris from SELCO coming from our secret basement. Today I'm going to be chatting with you about updating your catalogs. As you know, we are changing internet service providers here in this building, which is going to cascade down to us needing to get all new IP addresses. And the way that affects you the most is that the IP address for our restricted proxy is going to change, which means that all of your catalogs will display an error message until you update them. Basically, restricted proxy can't be found because it's no longer at that address. So what I've done is I wrote out in meticulous detail, the document ended up being 47 pages, sorry about that, of every step you need to go through to reset your catalogs on your own. And then this is the companion video that goes with it. I installed the catalog on a virtual machine so that I could record it, and then I'm going to be in the corner kind of voicing over what I did on the video. So we're going to pick up the video so far as we've gotten our catalog, we've plugged in the USB stick, we've turned it on, we've mashed F12 repeatedly to get to the boot menu. We've selected our USB stick. All of these steps are covered in the document. Then it's booted, and so that's where we're going to pick up the rest of the instruction video. And yeah, that's definitely. All right, so here we go. Yay, working title card. We're going to be installing Porteus kiosk. So, whoa, slow down. Already 2 steps ahead. Okay. So when it first comes up, when it first boots up, this is the first screen you're going to see. We're going to configure it using DHCP, which is this one here without the little wrench. So then once we've clicked next, we get this screen here with our proxy settings. Now this is the window that basically everything else we do has already been done, but it has to be redone. So we're going to put in our new proxy right there where it says redacted, and we'll kind of wait. I don't have it on me. It'll be on the screen, so enjoy that. And remember, this proxy, if you do this before we switch ISPs, you'll get the same kind of error message you would get if you do it if you leave it alone after we switch ISPs. So we're going to take a couple exceptions here. We want to add in porteus-kiosk.org. That's the site for this software. Basically, we want to be able to let it download extra components. Go figure. And then you're going to want to put in your, stop. Back up just a second. Here we go. And so we're going to want to also put in your library's website. For most of you, that's going to be the min.lib. blah, blah, blah. For me, for this example, I'm going to use selco.info. And then we're going to go ahead and click Next and pick Firefox. And then we're going to confirm that we've made all of our good choices. Double check the date and time. And now we've launched, we've clicked Next, and you're going to get some information. It's going to phone home. And now we're going to launch the Kiosk Wizard to create a new configuration. There we go. And the central management stuff we're going to leave alone. We don't use central management. That's why it's free and we don't have to pay for it. You can go ahead and disable the firewall. What we found is that the restricted proxy does a much better job than the internal firewall, so we'll go ahead and disable it. And then the rest of the network settings, we're going to go ahead and leave those alone. And now we're going to minimize those. Okay, let's go on to our home page, which we do need to enable. And you're going to go ahead and delete anything that's there. And then it's going to be https://selco.ent/client/en_us/ and then I'm using default here. You're going to want to use your 3-digit library code. So for example, if I was Winona, I would be using, at the end there, instead of default, I would be using Win, W-I-N. Or if I was Dodge Center, I would be using DC. Basically, it's that 2 to 3 letter code that you use in Horizon is what they're going to want there at the end. So we'll go ahead and test that. Okay, so we get our home page. Yay, it's all there. Now we're going to hit Alt-Tab, and this little box will pop up, and it'll bring us back to that pop-up. We're going to hit OK. Then we're going to close Firefox, and we'll get back to our wizard. And we don't need the URL filter or in private mode. We can leave all this stuff, the rest of this stuff, until we get to pop-up windows. We're going to want to enable pop-up windows. That's going to let like a min link open in a new tab or things like that. Then we're going to keep scrolling. And now the next one that we're going to do is we're going to want to disable the address bar. And I do want to speak on this for a second. And we want to disable the address bar because obviously your catalogs need to be just catalogs. And so this just basically eliminates the temptation to type in www.tiktok.com or Facebook or whatever. We know that with the restricted proxy it can't go there, but why have somebody stand there for a few minutes and try? So we're going to leave everything else alone until we get down a little further. And the next thing that we take care of is session idle. What session idle does is it basically, if somebody walks away, they've logged in, they've requested a book, and they walk away, in 5 minutes the session's going to reset itself and they're going to log that person off. So that's why this is important. That's why we want to make sure we find this setting. We're going to leave it at the default of 5 minutes, but that could be up to your discretion. If you want to say be a little more strict, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but most places I have set it up, personally I've just left it at the default of 5 minutes. And the next one is ZRAM. And I'm going to back up just so you can see the little pop-up. What this is and what this does is it's going to make your catalogs a little faster. Most of the catalogs we have are old repurposed equipment. By putting as much of the OS and Firefox in RAM instead of having to read the hard drive, it's going to make your catalogs a little quicker. So because these are repurposed machines, they actually probably have way more, 2 to 4 times or more times the RAM that Porteus kiosk really needs. So by not having to have Porteus access the hard drive so much, it's going to make your catalogs seem faster. So that's another one that we definitely want to highlight and make sure that we do. So we'll go ahead and slide that all the way over. And then we're going to keep skipping down because, yes, no removable devices, no real-time clock, wake on alarm. And the next thing we're going to take care of is we want to double check that Numlock is enabled. And then we also want to enable the right click. Obviously, because we're using it as a catalog, they need to be able to, maybe pop things open in a new tab. Just nice feature to have them have with there. Then we're going to just keep scrolling down until we get to the screensaver, which is our next thing. So we're going to go ahead and enable that. And we're just going to leave everything at the defaults. It does a little ripples, raindrop kind of thing, and I'm sure you've all seen it. The next thing we want to make sure of is the UEFI support. Just make sure that that's enabled. There's no settings for it. Just click the button. And we're going to keep scrolling on down. And we keep scrolling on down. And that's everything. So we're going to hit next. And then we're just going to double check all of our settings. So wired DHCP proxy, this is the old proxy, do not use. We've got our proxy exceptions. We're using Firefox. We've disabled the address bar. We've disabled the firewall because we don't really need it because there's only certain sites we can go to anyway. We've set our home page. It'll reset after 5 minutes of no activity. We're allowing pop-ups and right-clicking. And we're going to turn on the screensaver so we don't burn our catalog into our screens. We're setting it to mostly run off of RAM, and we want to boot to UEFI. All right, so let's go ahead and hit next. And no to automatic updates because we want to stay on the free version. Here's the next thing I want to highlight. When it comes to system installation, because I was using a virtual machine, I've only got the one virtual hard drive, so it was really easy. When you do this on your own, you'll probably have two options here. The A option is going to be the internal hard drive, and then the B option should be that whatever media you're using to install, most likely a flash drive provided by us. So let's continue on. We're almost done. Yay. So then we're going to click on Install System, Proceed, and then we're going to get a little info at the top. It's going to burn it. It's going to verify it. It's going to reboot. At this point, you would pull your installation media. I'm going to get a little virtual box. You'd get it like a Dell logo or a Lenovo logo. And then it's going to boot back up. And it's going to boot. It's booting. Yes, I left this in real time for virtual machine. And there we go. One full screen catalog, all ready to go. And that is how you update your catalogs. I know the written instructions look super daunting, but it's really not that bad. I do want you to try it. It's not that hard. Contact the help desk if you have any questions or if you'd prefer to have us update your catalog. We'll have you send them in and I can update them here. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye.